This video is to go over the 22-1 work together. In your textbook, it is on page 654, and in your workbook, I am currently on page 335. The instructions in your book, Calculating Partnership Earnings and Journalizing Partnership Withdrawals. Scott Badger and Maxine Geeson are partners in a business. On December 31st of the current year, the partners' equities are Scott $60,000 and Maxine $90,000. The net income for the year is $60,000. A worksheet for calculating distribution of partners' earnings, cash payments journal, and a general journal are provided in the working papers, and I will guide you through the following examples. So first step says for each of the following independent cases, calculate how the $60,000 net income will be distributed to the two partners. And what I did here is I started writing everything, and then I realized I didn't have very neat handwriting, and why don't I just white out what was in the key here? So for the first one here, they are going to share the percentage of net income. They're each going to take half of the net income because there's two owners. So for Badger and Geeson, we have their total net income. And total net income was $60,000. That was in the first step. It says calculate how the $60,000 net income. So for each of these, I will put in 60,000. And I will take that times the fixed percentage rate. They're each getting 50% of the net income. So I will put in 50% here and 50% here. So each partner's share of net income, 50% of 60,000 will be 30,000 for both of them. And then the total net income here at the bottom is 60,000, which was our net income that we have. So with this one here, if we have net income and we are going to receive a fixed percentage, we will just take the net income times that fixed percentage. And we could even do like 40% to one and 60% to the other, or whatever it is. Just fixed percentage, you'll take your net income times that percentage, and that's going to be the partner's share of net income. It doesn't have to be equal like this though, 50-50. Okay, let's look at the next one here. In step 1B, it says each partner receives a percentage of net income based on a percentage of total equity. So in the paragraph on top, it tells us how much each partner's equities are. So Scott Badger, he has 60,000. So Badger's partner's equity is 60,000. This is like what's in their capital account. And Maxine, she has 90,000. What we will do then is we will divide this by our total equity. So this isn't on here where it says total net income, but if we were to add these, that would be 150,000. That's the total equity. So we will divide this, each of the partners' equity, by the total equity, and that will give us our percentages we need. So 60,000 divided by 150,000 is 40%. For Maxine, 90,000 divided by 150,000 is 60%. And then we will go ahead and multiply to calculate our net income for each of these. So So our net income, which was the same as the previous one, that'll all be 60,000. So if I put in 60,000 here for net income, we will then multiply the 40% times 60,000, that is 24,000. And then we will take 60% times the 60,000, and this will be 36,000. And that will equal our total of our $60,000 net income. So what I'll do is I'll draw a little bracket there. So with this one here, there's a couple of differences here, but to calculate the percentage that each one is going to get, we will take our partner's equity divided by the total equity, and that will give us our percentage that we will use to divide up our net income. So since Maxine Geeson has more equity, she's going to get a larger chunk of the net income. Now, if there's a net loss, she would get a larger chunk of the net loss. In 1C, it says each partner receives 10% interest on equity. The partners share remaining net income equally. So let's jump down here. Let me move to the next section here. So with this one here, we have our interest on equity plus our fixed percentages that we will calculate next with our 10%. So Badger and Geeson, we take our partner's equity. Badger has 60,000. Geeson has 90,000. We will take that times the interest rate. They each have a 10% interest on equity. So 10%, 10%, and then the partner's interest, if we take 60,000 times 10%, that will be 6,000. And if we take 90,000 times 10%, that will be 9,000. So our total interest will then be 15,000. The next step in this is we need to take our net income, which was 60,000, and subtract the total interest, which is 15,000. So the remaining net income that is left over after all of that will be 45,000. Now with this one here, so they're each going to get their interest right away, and then they're going to divide the remaining net income that is left over. And with this one here, the partners will share the remaining net income equally. So the remaining net income is 45,000. And since they are sharing it equally and there's two partners, their fixed percentage will be 50%. And so each partner will receive 22,500 of the remaining net income. So to calculate all of this, how much each partner's share will be, we'll take the partner's interest from up here. And we will add the remaining net income we just calculated, which was 22,500. And that will give us our partner's share if we add those together. So Badger will receive 28,500 and Geeson will receive 31,500, and that will equal the total $60,000 for our net income. So just another way to go about this. And if you're getting worried about your application problem, what I will do is I will give you the same thing as what I'm doing here. I'll upload it maybe as a picture or just put it at the end of this video, and then I'll white out the same things I have here, and that will help you walk through how to do these, and maybe I'll put in a couple of little hints as well too. One more part of that for this work together. Let me just send this over real quick. So in step D, Scott receives 8% interest on equity and a salary of $18,000. Maxine receives $8,000 interest on equity and a salary of $22,500. Their partners will share the remaining net income equally. So this one will be a little bit different than our previous one. So first of all, we have the partner's equity. Partner's equity, same as before, Badger is 60,000, Geeson is 90,000. We will take that times the interest rate, and in step 1D, we have an 8% interest. And that will give us our interest on equity. So for Badger, that is 4,800. And then for Geeson, that is 7,200. So that's how much interest they are receiving, and then they each get a salary as well too. Badger's getting a salary of 18,000. Maxine Geeson is getting the 22,500 salary. That's how much they're getting paid. So their total allowance, if we take our interest plus our salary, total allowance for Badger 22,800. Geeson, that will be 29,700. So that's a total of 52,000 $500. Now our net income was $60,000, and they said whatever was left over they were going to split. So $60,000 minus $52,500. The remaining net income that they need to split equally is $7,500. So their salaries were a little bit different. They're each getting the same interest rate though as well, but you can see with this way we're going, Maxine is going to receive more. The remaining net income will go down here, $7,500. And since they are splitting that equally, their fixed percentage is 50%. So each partner's share will be $3,750 plus their total allowance from above. And then if we add those together, that will give us our partner's total share. Badger will get $26,550. Geeson will receive $33,450, and that'll equal our $60,000 net income. So you can see different ways to go about this. Like the easiest one is if we just did the first one where we split it in half. Easy, done that way. Next one where we did different percentages based on the equity. And then the last two is that they had some interest on there as well. So different ways to do that. Now, let me get my papers in order. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to have two transactions here. We're going to record the following transactions in the appropriate journals. June 20th of 2000, whatever, Scott Badger, partner, he withdrew cash for personal use, $750. This is check number 133. So for this example, this is actually something we've done a long time ago, and it may ring a bell once you start doing it. So I'm going to put in my date, which is June 20th. My check number was C133. When an owner takes money out of the business, it is going to be their drawing account, which is a contra account to their capital. So we will do Scott Badger, comma, drawing. And he withdrew $750, so that's going to be a general debit. The drawing account is a contra account to the capital account, that's why it's a debit, and then it'll be a cash credit for $750 as well. Something we've done like way back in the day. The next one, on July 1st, 2020, Maxine Geeson, partner, withdrew office supplies for personal use, memorandum 23. So as we said before, and we did this like a year and a half ago, you can withdraw other things out of a business besides cash. It is just that cash is the most common thing that someone is going to withdraw from the business. But you can take other assets out, such as office supplies. So we will once again use the drawing account, which will receive a debit. And then a credit will go to supplies-office. Supplies has a normal debit balance. So since we are taking supplies out of the business, we will give that a credit. At the end of the fiscal period, this drawing account gets closed into the capital account. So even though it's not currently affecting the capital account, it will in the future. Now I'm going to, I'll post a couple of things online and that you can go ahead and use that will help you do your application problems to walk through them. So I will do the same thing like how I started off here, where I will white out where the numbers will go. So that will hopefully help you along as well too. And if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll help you out.